Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed for episode 301. Oh yes, so we're going to have another one I've never had before, but from a producer that I've definitely had before. Maddoc, Hollow Ash, Jeremy Harris, great producer, like him very much. Saw this, I haven't got any, I didn't know he'd released it. My feelings are a little bit hurt. I'm going to see if I can get hold of some. But what do we drink tonight, Chris? What are we drinking tonight? Tonight we drink gin, but it's not what you think. It's not gin. It is in fact gin. Gin pear. There it is, gin pear from Maddoc. There you go, lovely label. What does it say on here? Medium sweet, single variety perry, 2020. A delectable perry with light elderflower notes and a juniper aftertaste. Juniper, that's why it's called gin. People think it has an element of juniper about it. Often elderflower as well, but people say juniper, hence the name gin. That's where it comes from. Look at that colour. It's very green, isn't it? Very green, very pale, very green. What is the ABV? 4.8, fantastic. It's going to have some residual sugar in. Pressed November 2020, bottled May 2021, released July 2021. So actually, when I went to see him, he hadn't even bottled this. So fair enough. Fair enough. Also got a bit of cheese. For the 300th episode, I went a bit mad and bought several bits of cheese. We tried the Gruyere in the last episode. Today, look at this. Look at that gorgeous looking thing. Look at that natural rind on that. That is a beauty, isn't it? That is a beauty. This is a Tomme de Savoie from Savoie, from French mountain cheese, cow's milk. This is like their table cheese. This is the thing that they've eaten in on their farms, in their chalets, on the table. There'd be a piece of cheese on the tables. You only had 1 or 2 cows. You couldn't get up onto the high pasture, whatever. You wouldn't have much milk. You'd make small individual cheeses like this, and this is what you'd eat. And I love this sort of cheese. This is their equivalent of, like, say, Wensleydale or something like that. You know, utilitarian or Cavilly, that kind of thing. This is like Savoie Cavilly. That's what that is. Well, we'll try that in a minute. First off, big clean glass. Look at that beauty. Let's open this mother. Pop. So I think first arose in Gloucestershire, Newent, Gloucestershire region. I'm not sure when, a couple of 100 years ago, I suspect. Let's have a look at the colour. Where's my thingamajig? It's underneath my Tomme de Savoie. Move over, Tom. Thank you. There you go. Look at that. That's got that greenish hue, hasn't it, that you get in certain ciders. It makes me think of, I don't know, the Turner's Barn from Ross on Wye. That kind of green hue. Sometimes you get some amazing colour in perries, but this is that sort of greenish, austere. Almost like lemon water kind of character, lime water sort of character. Let's have a sniff. So it will be unfiltered. Jeremy doesn't keeve, but he does rack off, so maybe that's how he's got the residual sugar, or maybe it's just sorbitol. I'm not sure. Let's have a smell. Oh, beautiful that. Beautiful, almost light icing sugar, delicate perfume. Really light, really delicate. Just in the background, it's almost got like it's almost like a citrus lime character just in the background as well. Not when we think of juniper necessarily. Oh, maybe a hint actually, just there on the back end. Yeah, I do. I'm not really getting elderflower, but I did get just a hint of juniper on the back. I did, just as I said it. It was there. Lovely, slight creaminess, sort of creamy, gentle round pastry, sweet pastry, short crust pastry element on the nose as well. Let's try this. Looking forward to this. Lovely, light, refreshing. It does have like a lime citrus character. It absolutely does. This is a summer perry. Absolutely is. The colour suggests something light and green and sort of refreshing. That's exactly what you get. Not boldly acidic, but it does have some acidity. It does make me think citrus lime. It absolutely does. Lovely, delicate bubbles. And on the nose, there is that kind of like citrus character. Maybe very delicate sweet pear, but very fresh green sweet pear. Maybe hints of juniper as well, but lovely, light, refreshing drinking pear it is. Excellent in hot weather. Really good. Pretty cold. Could be a bit warmer, but light, refreshing, easy drinking. Forget Prosecco and stuff like that. That's what you want, baby. That is what you want. That is subtle, but absolutely delicious. I don't think it's going to go with this cheese at all, but I don't care. Because I've got a bit of cheese, I'm going to eat it. So with something like that, really I'm thinking like fresh goat's cheese, something like that. Very fresh cow, very fresh goat, very fresh sheep, possibly. Yeah, for something like this, it's so fresh and light, it's so delicate. You need something with light acidity. Man, that nose is wonderful though. It really is. Yeah, juniper. Absolutely getting it now. Really, obviously. It smells wonderful. Oh yeah. So, natural rind, beautiful looking thing. Smells of, yeah, that kind of like musty, freshly tilled soil, mushroomy sort of character. Quite delicate on this. Got a few spots of like yellow mould as well. All sorts of great things going on. The colours on that is wonderful. Some people get put off by that, and it's wonderful. That's a natural rind. That's nature does that. That has not come from a culture, from a laboratory. That is what's sitting in their maturing rooms, on their wooden shelving, etc. Grows on the outside. Wonderful looking thing. Really like it. I love the rind. I love the rind. That is what you want to eat. You know, when you're hungry, you're a bit tired, something that fills you up, but satisfies as well. Great salt, lovely texture, buttery. That rind, there is a little bit of pseudomonas on there, I think. Not pseudomonas. What's it called? Come on, Chris. Brain's gone. You see slightly yellow bit under the ride there. Slightly red, yellow bit. So, I associate that with bitterness. When you see that, you do tend to get a little bit of bitterness, and I am getting bitterness. I can't remember what the name of that mold is. I'm going to put it on the screen. Too little ram. Too many facts. Too little ram. If I learn a new thing now, something has to come out of my head to make space for, unfortunately. I'll put it on the screen. Don't worry. So yeah, when you see that yellow thing, usually you associate that with bitterness. I am getting a bit of bitterness. Not too much, but just a bit. So it's not ideal. But I love the rind so much. That toothsome texture when you bite through it. People don't eat the rinds often. You paid for the rind. It is still sold by weight. You bought the rind. Gives you a different flavour, different texture. Sometimes you'll get rinds that are bitter. Even with the same cheese, from batch to batch, you'll get variation. Just so. Maybe don't eat it, but always try it. Always try the rinds, because the rinds are wonderful. Wonderful. That's terroir right there. Nice. Great salt. Umami. Buttery. Oh, there's like a earthiness to it as well. Great cheese. Caught in my palate. Very nice. Yeah. It's too citrusy, light, perfumey, junipery. This is a bit too, I don't want to say awful, but there's like a meaty character to it, which I like very much. Love Tomme de Savoie. I really do. This is really unpasteurised, handmade, small production. Yeah, this is a real deal. Mons cheesemongers. That's where I get all my French cheese. So they get a discount. So I wouldn't have. But also, because, for my money, they are one of the best French cheese retailers in the country by some margin. Nuttiness as well. Like nut shells, actually, I'm getting. Which has a bitterness as well, but it's a bitterness I quite like. Okay, guys, there you go. Very nice Perry. Delicious cheese. If you can get some of this, I'm going to try and get some of this. I recommend you do while the weather's still hot, because you could drink this quite happily when the weather wasn't hot, but by God, sitting out on a hot evening with a glass of this, chilled from the fridge, yes, please, really good. And that juniper character from the gin, Perry, gin pear, you get it in this. You don't always get it, but in this it's present. So it's good to experience that from time to time, you know, that characteristic. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me back in my shed. I hope you join me again. But until then, cheers.